Hey everybody, today is August 1st, 2023, and today we're going to talk about the stock market. And I'm going to talk about whether I think this new month, August, is going to be a red month after this incredible 5 consecutive green monthly candles in a row, or whether I think that we're going to continue this spectacular rally. Before we begin, please read the disclaimer. You can pause this video as you read it. Okay, so we have a new monthly close, right? And now this monthly close looks really good. However, we are currently on 5 consecutive green monthly candles in a row, and I think that it's possible to make an argument that this market is currently a bit overbought, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bit of a pullback, right? This is the monthly chart, and you can see we are currently in a secular bull market, right, from 2009 lows. And you can see that the market pulls back once in a while, and it's healthy, right, to pull back and touch these moving averages. Right, this is the 50-month moving average, and you'll see on the chart that it's actually quite common for it to come back. The most recent was a 2022 bear market where we touched it on this October low, right? And since then, we've had this incredible breakout rally, right? Let me just zoom in here. So basically, we were sideways between 4,200 and 3,800 for about a year, and we finally managed to break above 4,200, right? And then we began this spectacular rally. I talked about this on my Twitter page, and please follow me at EddieLux_. I basically have this Twitter thread that I've let me just wait for it to load. Since the beginning of April, right, I talked about how the stock S&P 500 was ranging between 4,200 and 3,800 for almost a year. And you can sort of follow this chart, follow this thread. You'll see that I update this. I try to update every week or every other week. But you can see that as in this update, in this thread, that in early June, we finally saw a breakout. And from there, we just saw the market rally, a spectacular run. And this is actually quite common. And when the market tries to break out, right, in this consolidation phase, unable to really break out to the upside or the downside, and we got to look at sort of the micro trends within this consolidation zone, right? We saw higher lows. We also saw consistent resistance area. So actually, let me draw this a little better. And so we sort of saw this ascending triangle pattern develop within this 1 year consolidation zone, right? We went sideways for a year and finally saw a breakout. So it's no surprise that we're seeing a nice strong rally. The question is, when are we going to see the pullback, right? So 5 consecutive green monthly candles in a row right now. I think that the probability is a lot higher than it was 1 or 2 months ago, right? That we're going to have a pullback. Because if you look at the monthly chart, it's actually quite common for the market to pull back after it has a nice rally. And you can see this rally is actually quite steep compared to like some of the other long rallies, right? Where this rally, you saw multiple green monthly candles, but this was a lot more muted, right? This one and this one as well. Whereas this one is just pretty much almost parabolic. It's a lot steeper, right? If you compare that to other parabolic rallies like this one, we saw a 2-month pullback here. This one we saw a multi-month pullback here. Same thing here off the lows, right? We saw a multi-month pullback. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a pullback in this month and perhaps into September, right? And that would actually be a healthy pullback. So that's what I think is probably going to happen. Of course, the market doesn't have to follow what I think is going to happen, and so we'll definitely keep you guys updated as the price action develops going forward and see where the market heads. But another reason why I think that the market will pull back besides the technicals is also what we saw earlier, right? Last week, the Fed raised rates by 25 basis points, bringing the terminal rate up to 5.5%. And sometimes these effects don't come. You don't really see them in the economy until later on, right? They don't necessarily have an immediate effect. But as it starts to hit the economy, they might start affecting earnings and revenue for companies, and that might investors might want to start taking some profits ahead of time, right? So we might see that put a drag on the market. Also, another thing is the fear and greed index, right? The sentiment is still in extreme greed, and we've been in here for a while if you've been following my previous videos, right? So what it says is that there's still a long way to fall before we hit to fear. And when we hit fear or extreme fear, that's when the market is generally oversold, and that could be a good time to get into the market, right? So the fact that we're still in extreme fear, like how long will it take for it to hit, oversold level, to hit fear level, right? In extreme greed. Like how long will it take to hit the fear to extreme fear level, right? How much do we have to pull back before these sentiment indicators tell us that it could be a good time to get into the market, right? So let's look at some possible levels that I'm looking at, right? So I think that the first level of support will be 44.5 on the S&P 500, right? Where we had previous, we tested this previous support level, and then we were able to form higher lows and break out. But it's possible we can come back and try to retest that level again, right? Another level is the 50-day moving average, which is also going to move up as we get closer and closer to the end of the month. So it's possible that these two areas could collide near the middle to end of August, and this 42.5 level and the 50-day moving average. And as long as we're able to come down and hold the support level, I'm pretty confident that we're actually going to move up higher. And that would be a good level of support to fall down to, right? And a good way to consolidate and really create a sustainable uptrend, right? Because we don't want this to go parabolic, because every time we see the trend go parabolic, we tend to see just as hard of a crash, right? So the fact that we're able to move back perhaps will give me more confidence that this bull rally has more legs to run, right? And if you look at the previous high, we're actually quite close to the all-time high, right? We are just touching this local higher over here. So it doesn't, sorry, let's just make this a little bit straighter. It doesn't surprise me that this is a resistance level, because this was the local high back in April of last year, right? And the all-time high obviously is here in early 2022. Now let's just see how far we are away from the all-time high. So we're just below 6% away from the all-time. So we're very close to the all-time high. So the fact that we have some resistance, since we're not only near the all-time high, but also we're just touching this local resistance level that we made in 2022, right? It doesn't surprise me that we might see a pullback this month. So based on everything I said, I do believe we're going to pull back to at least 4,500, and perhaps even down to 4450, right? But of course we have to see. Just because I think that's going to happen doesn't mean the market is going to do that, right? And we also have some gaps down here as well, right? That could fill. But based on everything that I talked about, the fact that the Fed is still raising rates, the fact that the sentiment is still in extreme greed, and the fact that the technicals, we have 5 consecutive monthly green candles in a row, right? It's very rare that we get that many green candles in a row. So I think that there's a high probability that August will probably be a red month. That'll be a pullback, and perhaps bleeding into September as well. Yeah, so let's look at the volatility just to finish this video off. So volatility also has been, beaten down pretty badly, right? We're actually building. It seems like we're building a base around here for the last 2 months, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a nice spike in volatility. We usually do see a spike in volatility once in a while, right? So yeah, the fact that it's been muted for a while, that spike in volatility could possibly coincide with, a pullback. But in my opinion, if we do pull back, as long as we hold at least 44.5, right? 4,500 would be great. I think that would be a very healthy pullback. Nothing to be scared of. It's only when we start breaking below like maybe 43. And what we don't want to see is we don't want to see us break back into this old zone below 4,200. Once we break back into the zone, this could be considered a fake out, breakout rally, right? Which also is around the same area of this Fibonacci on the SPY, the ETF that tracks the S&P 500. So if we break down below this level into this previous zone that we were in, that we tried to break out of, that we successfully broke out of earlier this year, we break down into the zone again, 4,200 resistance, 3,800 support, right? This area over here, we break down into this zone again. That'll be more bearish. But of course, there's still a long way down, and we definitely have more time to talk about that and update you on that as the price action develops going forward. So again, just to summarize, I do think we're going to have a pullback this month in August based on everything I talked about in this video. However, I think this pullback could possibly be a good time to, perhaps buy the dip. Of course, it's not financial advice. You gotta do your own research, do your own due diligence, right? But that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for some good deals as the market, I believe, will pull back this month. Again, this market doesn't have to do what I believe it will do. It can go up a lot higher, and I'll definitely update you if that is to happen. So yeah, that's just all I want to talk about in this video today. We have a new month, and yeah, I do think that there's a lot of interesting things happening in the market, right? Will the Fed continue to raise rates, or are they going to stop at 5.5 terminal rates, right? There's a talk that they might raise rates more. That could put even more downward pressure on the market. Who knows? But I'll definitely be here to update you as the fundamentals, the news, and of course the price action develops going forward. Okay, if you found this video helpful, useful, or informative, please like this video, leave a comment below, and subscribe for updates. Appreciate all your support. Thank you again, and have a great day.